Welcome to America. I came here from Nepal to study abroad. When I was back home, I often pictured the US as a country of big cities and oceans. But after coming and living here, I learned that there's so much more than that to see and discover. Last summer, when I finished my college, I decided to go on a road trip. Just me and my car in the American wilderness. It might sound crazy, my friends sure thought it was. After living on the eastern coast of the country for 4 years, this urge was growing inside me to explore the beauty of America's Wild West. Finally, I felt like it was the right time to go. I was going through a lot then. I had just gotten out of a toxic relationship, I was having some issues in my family back home, and a pressure to get a real job after graduation was weighing me down. I was exhausted, just felt like I needed to leave it all behind and go do something that I had always wanted to do. But first things first. What's up, everybody? Right now I'm at Atlanta. I just got here at a Nepalese restaurant for some momos. Let's see how good is their momo. Mmm, good momo. I had started off in South Carolina by driving 700 miles southwest to a place called New Orleans, an American city with a French influence where jazz music was born. After exploring the city with my friend others and trying some Louisiana Creole cuisine, I was hosted by my friend's cousin who happened to be living in Louisiana.
Louisiana might have four man fried rice. Louisiana I go four fried rice.
The next morning, I was back on the road. I didn't really have any route, neither did I know where I was heading, but none of that really mattered because I had started to feel a sense of freedom being on my own. I just woke up in the morning and decided where I want to go that day. Less planning meant more flexibility, and I kind of enjoy traveling that way. Texas was pretty flat. I'd always go straight and drive through open fields, but it was interesting to go off-roads once in a while and see what I might discover.
I am somewhere in Texas in the middle of nowhere. Middle of nowhere, nowhere, nowhere.
When I got to New Mexico, I felt a change in scenery. The fields started turning into hills. What you are seeing right now is actually an extinct volcano. It's so windy over here. I'm surrounded by so much nature and I think it's going to be a fun journey from here. As soon as I saw a mountain peak, I knew I had come to the right place. The further I drove, I loved the experience. I don't know what is it about mountains, I just love being around them. Little did I know a snowstorm was about to hit, bringing rain, ice, and tons of snow for days to come. Oh my god, it's completely covered in snow. God damn. How am I supposed to drive this car? Oh my god. Sun is out. I think it's time to get back on the road. The clear sky didn't last too long as I caught myself in an ice fall. Right now I am in front of Elk Mountain in Wyoming. I was in Colorado for the past couple of days and it had been snowing and raining all day. It's still snowing. I can see snow. I don't know if you can see, but it's still snowing. I drove through vastly empty roads. There was nothing. Huge field, small hills every now and then, and vast of nothingness again. The possibilities of discovery seemed endless in this large land. I came across an abandoned army fort. It's situated in a beautiful setting in Wyoming landscape. I saw remains of a building in some pictures, but here it's just pillars. One pillar over here, a couple of pillars over there, and a couple of pillars over there, and that's it. I have this place for myself. There's nobody here. Woo! Woo! My goodness, these are freaking huge. As I continued on, I felt like I had come to a very familiar place. From hills surrounded by lush greenery to snow capped mountains far away from home, I felt right at home. I felt like Utah is an ideal place for adventure seekers. And to quench my thirst for adventure, I decided to go to the woods.
Hi, welcome to Ashesh National Park in Utah. Today I'm exploring the creeks, rivers, falls, and mountains around here.
Well, that was the plan, but no journey is complete without a challenge or two. So I was in the middle of a forest heading to a lake, and suddenly it started raining. That was fine, I had an umbrella with me, but lightning started striking. I could see lightning just nearby. I don't know if it's snow or ice. It's all over my windshield. That was really scary. I'm heading back to the city now. Oh fuck! Fuck! I cannot even drive. The road, it's very slippery. I could feel my car skidding. I had to stop, but I don't think staying here is a good option. So I wanna head back to the city. I safely made it out of there. That was probably the first time in the trip I was feeling scared. Back in the city, the weather was calm and I felt much safer. The next morning, I left the place I was being hosted by some kind strangers whom I met through couchsurfing, with a little thank you note and a gift from home. Then I headed to the western part of Utah to see the Salt Flats, a large inland sea which had dried over thousands of years ago, leaving behind the salt deposit which we can see today. It's totally worth the drive. It was like an hour and a half drive from Salt Lake City, and I'm rewarded with this beautiful view. Look at this. It's salt everywhere. Actually, I want to taste this salt. Let me see how it is. Let me see how salty it is. Yeah. Let's just say it was very, very salty. There's nobody around here. I found out a friend from high school, Dai, was living in Salt Lake City, so I went to meet him, and he took me to some secret spots of the city. It's always nice to have a local show me around their towns because I get to know the place on a whole different level. Later, I also got to see the Temple Square, a religious icon for the Mormons of Utah. Wow, so this is probably the coolest view I have ever seen outside of a Walmart. Dai and his friends were planning a trip to the southern part of Utah where some naturally formed amphitheaters were. I wanted to see that, so I tagged along. It felt like the earth had just ripped open. These natural amphitheaters carved into the edge of a high plateau were filled with irregularly eroded spires of rocks called hoodoos. We descended on trails and wandered through the hoodoos below, taking a closer look at these spectacular landscapes. When I was walking among these giant structures, I realized that in the grand scheme of things, none of the things that I was giving importance to is particularly significant. To know places like this exist in our world makes me eager to travel and see more of what I have yet to see on this planet that we call home. At the campground, we cooked food together, popped champagnes, lit bonfires, and slept together under the same tent. Above our tent, I could see thousands of stars twinkling. For the first time in many years, I was seeing that many stars. It felt surreal to be present at that moment. As you travel through the western US, the nature starts to change drastically, from hills to mountains to canyons to salt flats and deserts. A fifth of the land on our planet is covered by desert, and I was getting to see one for the first time in my life in Nevada, where I was staying with a local family who lived there raising animals in a farm. By that time, I had been on the road for 15 days and I had started to feel weak. A few hours of drive from where I was would take me to the hottest place on earth, but I wasn't sure if I should go there. Then again, I realized I might never have an opportunity to go there again if I didn't go then. So I decided to push for it.
Welcome to Death Valley National Park. I just got here now. Now let's explore Death Valley National Park and see what it has to offer.
Death Valley is home to some of the unique and otherworldly landscapes, like these colorful mountains in the middle of a desert.
Right now I'm standing at the sea level, so beyond this it's going to be below sea level.
Yes, some of the places in Death Valley lie below sea level, including a salt flat that goes by name Badwater Basin.
This place right here is 282 feet below sea level, and this is the lowest elevation in North America.
Out there in the desert, the day began to get hot. So after a short walk out in the salt flats, I started to feel dehydrated. When the day started cooling down, I went to the sand dunes to see a sunset.
So I'm climbing the sand dunes in Death Valley National Park, and I'm about to reach the top of the sand dunes. It's a difficult hike, but about 40 minutes to get here, but it's worth the hike. So the sun is about to set in the sand dunes, and the last rays of sun passing through sand, which looks wonderful.
It was a lovely evening. I slept at the most magical place that night under the millions of stars in our Milky Way galaxy.
Good morning, guys. It's a beautiful morning. I don't know if you guys can hear from my voice, but I feel a little bit sick. It's probably because of weather. I hate to be sick.
I wasn't having the best of the days. I was feeling weaker and weaker. My health was becoming worse. My body was asking for rest. I didn't think it would be wise to risk it by staying there longer, alone. So I took one long look at the valley from above and decided to head back out. What awaited me next was the last stretch of the journey, just over 500 miles to a settlement in the San Francisco Bay Area that was meant to be my home for the next few months.
That day, I got to Bay Area pretty late at night and slept on a bed after many days. As I got to rest, I recovered within a few days. Undoubtedly, that road trip was physically and mentally the most challenging thing that I had ever done, and also the longest in terms of distance and days. But I'm glad I went for it. I think I just needed to give myself for a while. When I started the trip without any plan, I knew I was in for a wild ride, and I had a great time just putting myself out there and letting things unfold. I learned that a journey is most beautiful when it's spontaneous and free. It wasn't the first time I had traveled by myself, but at times when I was far away from civilization, I felt a lot of fear, not knowing what would I do, how would I reach out for help if something would happen to me. But in the end, I survived on my own. I realized that I am capable of doing much more than I thought I was. Thanks to everyone who helped me make this trip, and thanks to you guys for watching this video till the end. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe and share this video with a friend who you think will enjoy it. That's how you can help me create more videos. Wow, it's been so long since I have done something like that. I want to feel that way again. I think it's time to plan for another one. Alright, guys, I'll see you all somewhere down the road. Bye. Ciao.